This morning I'm going to have a go at some doodling inspired by Mrs. Holland's drawing of her dragon and her chocolate packets. So drawing is something that I quite enjoy doing. It's easier when I am copying an image rather than doing it from my mind, but haven't always had the time to do. So it's quite nice to take this time that we've got to slow down and do something a little bit different. The art I'm doing this morning is using the lines of lined paper to manipulate the picture so it looks a little bit illusional, and the current one I'm working on has got Diary of a Wimp Kid in mind with his style drawings. This is where I'm at so far, and I'm just going to carry on and see where it ends up. So I want this stick character to have a shocked expression, so I am simply giving it a really big mouth, wide open, and his eyes glancing down to where he's lifting up the line because he's going to be helping try to pull somebody up over the edge. His eyebrows are put at an angle to suggest and support that he looks anxious and fearful. Over this side I've started like a curtain call. Again, the other character is lifting the line. He's just going to help hold that line in place while he's helping below. Now, this isn't something I've had a go at before, but it's something that I can change and adapt as I go along, as with anything. Often with drawing, once you see it and you alter it, it becomes different to what you imagined. I'm just going to bring that blanket cord down to meet my line down here. I'm changing the thickness of some of the lines, so while it's not particularly technical, it just adds to the impact of the dimensions. Now I've ended up with some nice little spaces where I'm going to hide another character, so I'm just going to put in a little face. And he's going to be peeking over the edge. With his little hands. Not quite happy with his eyes, but that's something that we can change. Just needs to be a little bit taller, and then that line. There we have him. So with the three characters now, I want to use this space here for them to be looking to help pull up some other characters. So this guy here needs his fingers. And I'm going to have this line coming down in contrast to the one going up. With somebody holding on, looking to be pulled up. So there's his hand. Now we need to turn it into a stick man. Little bend in the elbow. Questioning whether I've got the arm in the wrong place because it looks like it's coming out his head like a nose. think I might have to make the head or the arm angle a bit different. Go with the head first. I'll do the eyes so that he's looking where he's going. So this one is to be a bit of an angle. Again, eyebrows raised, and his expression is going to be one of concern. Probably looks a bit happy that he's falling and wobbling. So make that frown. Turn that smile upside down instead of turn the frown upside down. I'm going to add a little bit of light shading to the back of his head, nothing, just to give it a bit of extra dimension, and then go back to the arm to work on a better position for it to meet his body. Perfect. Let's give him a bit of a longer arm, but it is looking more of a sensible place to join. Okay, so now I want his body. He's going to be at a bit of an angle again because he's looking for help. So I've done his body at about a 45-degree angle. In contrast to the one above him particularly, who's looking to pull him up. I'm going to bend his legs because this time you're going to see the legs. They're not hidden underneath the blanket of lines. And then do the other one in a bit of a frantic backwards position, as if he's splaying and kicking his legs to try and get free. We've only got one arm, so let's bring his other arm to be holding on a bit lower. Just manipulate that line, so simply by doing a little bit of a bump, it looks like the lines are creating part of the image. And then his other arm is going to reach out and hold on there. Yeah, I quite like that. The last thing I'm going to do is I am going to add some shading to this bit here, which I was hoping would look a bit like a tunnel. So I'm going to do it darker at the top. I don't want to lose the shape of his hand holding on, so I'm just going to be careful around there. A little bit of fading it out, blending it out as I come down. And then do that all the way around. As I come to the corners, I'm going to make it particularly dark. And then just the other side. So again, really dark in the corner, coming up to my little man that's hiding. Yeah, pretty pleased with that. It hasn't taken very long, it's just been a little bit of a practice, a little bit of a go at something a little bit different, and I'm going to continue exploring if there's other animals, other items that this works particularly well with. I did see one of an octopus that I was pretty blown away by, so I might just finish by having a go at the octopus. Start with his head in the middle. Now the octopus worked really well because of all his tentacles. You can make each and every tentacle manoeuvre between the lines in a particularly effective way. Looking a bit more like a ghost at the minute. So we have got his first leg, not particularly well in proportion to his head. Might need to make his head a bit bigger at some stage. In fact, let's make his head bigger now. Now usually, and my class will know, I say rubbers are not needed because mistakes are positive and a sign that we are learning. But with drawing, it kind of becomes an essential as you want to alter and edit. Visually it looks different as you build and develop it a bit more each time. So we've got one leg, I'm going to have another leg coming out from below him. I'm just going to bring his body lower here. I'm just trying to think how the lines might... Okay, so it's two legs and then one to the left. So we are starting to develop legs where I am missing lines to make it look like he's crawling in amongst them. I'm going to have a leg coming from behind here, going up, but miss this line as if he is weaving in between it, reaching up towards our men from earlier. His legs are rather chunky. I think he's been overeating while he's inside, staying safe. That's 4 legs. Now, to help the lines look like they're an illusion, some simple shading, making it darker at the point of the lines, really helps to make it look like he's supposed to be interweaving those lines, not just missing a bit of his leg. Makes a huge difference. Now I'm trying to go a little bit quicker than I perhaps normally would for a first attempt. but it still looks optical-ish, optical illusional-ish. Pretty sure I just made that word up. So my little fella is down to 4 legs, shaded. Add a bit of darker colour at the top of this one because it's overlapping the back leg. Colour shading grey. Fifth leg on its way. So I'm going to have another leg going up, so coming from behind his neck, if octopuses have necks. Do octopuses have necks? Anybody wants to find out and let me know. And this time I want it to look like he's holding on to one of these lines. So I'm going to come up, away from him and then back towards him, just slightly overlapping and curling around the line. So just add a bit of shade, simple shade into this, and then I'll show you. I need it to go up to the top of the line for it to look like it's holding on to it. And just coming back round. I'm thinking that this leg here is particularly long and perhaps would have been better a little bit shorter. But we've got 5 legs in place, 3 to go. So I'm going to have him sat on this line, so this just needs to kind of come to a close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have one coming out here, just slipping below the line before coming back up. He's almost reaching out to help the man, giving him a step up. Running out of space for his legs, he might just have to have 6 legs. One coming up from above. That's the novelty of being a octopus. You've got that many hands. I imagine you can reach all directions. Now just to make sure you can see it is a leg coming from above his head, and not some kind of weird alien approach. I'm going to make that line of his head more defined. And then again bring this one out, missing a line, to curl round. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Now there definitely looks like there's more space to the left than to the right, so I'm going to come out this way. Again, last one, lift up, miss the line to make it look like it's being and bring it back round. There we have one octopus. So the final piece of my first attempt of doodle art. I'm going to carry on and have a go at some others, which I will more than happily share with you at another time.